Welcome back. You're still watching NTV Weekend Edition. On Talk of the Nation tonight, we saw that earlier last week, a Kenyan trade delegation was in town to assess Uganda's production capacity in the sugar sector. The meeting came on the back of another move by Nairobi to block Uganda Maize exports over their quality. So tonight, we assess the outcome of the Kenyan government's demands in the wake of demands by Nairobi for tougher production expectations. So tonight, once again, we have Michael Mugabira, who is the coordinator of the Uganda Sugarcane Growers Association. We've had him here before talking about the sugarcane growers' problems, and here he is again just to shed some light on some of the outcomes of this meeting between the Kenyan and Ugandan government officials. A very good evening and welcome to Talk of the Nation tonight.
Thank you, Madam Sandra.
Well, when we look at this meeting that has come at a time when sugarcane growers are first of all worried, some are uprooting, banning their sugarcane to see that since they are not getting enough market, do you think this meeting has resolved some of the issues at hand?
Yeah. We thank our government, and especially His Excellency. You know, he's the one who initiated the talks with the Kenya government, Uhuru Kenyatta, that we get a market for excess sugar. As I said, that we have excess sugar, we have excess sugar cane. Last year, December, we secured 90,000 metric tons to export to Kenya. But Kenya made a condition that before they allowed the export of the sugar, they should come to Uganda and verify the authenticity of that sugar. The complaint, which happens to be valid, is that Uganda will have sugar bonds. We've talked about this issue a number of times. They claim that we import sugar from Asia, Brazil, and Guatemala, cheap sugar. We do rebagging of that sugar, and then we claim that we have excess sugar. So the team came, it was the official delegation of the Kenyan government. They came with the Minister for Trade, linked up with Minister of Trade in Uganda, even they visited the President, and then they went to verify every sugar producing factory in the country, to verify the stocks available, that's yes. Number one. Verify that they have plantations or they are growers of cane in the area, there is enough cane, which produces that sugar. Yeah. From our contacts with the millers, also with the Madama Amina of Atiaka Sugar, where we going to take our sugar cane, they are satisfied that yes, we have excess sugar cane. We have excess sugar. Sugar stocks are available, and the sugar being produced is from the country. That one, they have confirmed. So we hope that very soon we should be able to get the permits and take the sugar to Kenya. So
there is indeed hope,
yeah, there is hope
for the sugarcane growers to have market for their produce.
Yeah, the sugarcane growers, as I said earlier, market has to do with the mills existing.
But do you think this meeting will make it easier for them at least to sell their produce to the millers who will later give it out?
Yeah, you are right, you are right.
Yeah.
Yeah, with the Kenya taking the sugar, it is going to create a gap in the stores, yeah, whereby more sugar can be crushed to supply the Kenyan market. Because the Kenyan market, as I said earlier, can consume 500,000 tons of all Ugandan sugar. So even if we have a problem of milling capacity, but since now Atiaka has come on board, and Atiaka plantations are still not yet mature, the excess sugar cane we have now in Busoga, we can supply Atiaka with 500,000 tons of that cane.
Maybe just to pick your thoughts on a very contentious issue, we have seen the sugarcane prices really go high.
Yes.
What is the reason behind that? If we are having, first of all, excess sugar in the country,
yes, and
here we get to a supermarket to buy a kilogram of sugar and it's more expensive, and then we have excess sugar, it doesn't make sense. Where is the problem?
You know, the sugar market in this country is more of a cartel. Not only Uganda, but maybe worldwide. Sugar operates in the form of a cartel. And here the sugar sector is mainly of Asians.
Yeah.
So they determine the price of how much to pay the farmer, and especially in this era where sugar cane is excess than the demand, or supply is bigger than demand, they can afford to pay farmers peanuts, but it is the millers who determine the retail price, or the wholesale price for sugar, because they control the market. And that's where we find that farmers have little bargaining power. until the sugar board is established. The sugar board is established. The sugar board can regulate what the farmers should get and what the millers should have.
All right.
Yeah.
Now, speak to us about, I know you are a sugarcane grower, and
Yes.
we have seen that there is a drastic drop in the price of the raw cane.
Yes.
Why is this so? Do you think this meeting, again, just taking you back, the meeting with the Kenyan officials will change the situation?
The situation in form of cane farmers may not change immediately because they're having excess cane. But the situation is that at least the market to consume that excess cane will be is being what? Created. Because once also the millers are suffering with the full stores of sugar stocks. But if they offload, then they can create more room to consume more sugar cane. That is why we need that market.
Very interesting. Bargaining power.
Bargaining power.
How good is it? When it gets to our exports as a country, do you think we still have challenges when it gets to how we bargain for our produce?
Nah, but you have also to appreciate Uganda if you are going to compare with Kenya. Kenya's economy has been here for quite long and the industries are quite established. You know, we came from the war and we are now just coming back to proper production. So we are dealing with Kenya, which used to export massively to Uganda. And now for us, Uganda to export to Kenya, we are taking part of their pie. Anybody will fight to defend that market. So that's we have what we call market wars in the region.
So in your opinion, we are simply getting into a market that has already been there.
Yeah,
we are trying to succeed in an already existing environment that has been mastered by our neighbors. Is that what you're trying to say?
You are right, you are right. Because they used even to import sugar and they bring it to Uganda. Now Uganda is a producer, is a surplus producer in the region. The West African region, Uganda is the only surplus producer of sugar and also sugarcane.
Now, when you bring in the aspect of the surplus, which we already talked about, as Ugandans, as sugarcane growers, how do we take advantage of that? Because if we are the only ones that have excess than the rest, we should ideally be the main dominant supplier of this sugar raw cane.
We could be, but there is what we call the non-border tariff barriers and the politics involved. Like Rwanda, they close the border. You're well aware.
Yes.
But Rwanda is a deficit producer. Tanzania, they have their own politics. So maybe if integration is take place the way it should be, and it is not just a political talk, and you really integrate, like you consider the United States of America, whereby you can produce in New York and sell in California. You can produce in Uganda, sell in Nairobi, sell in Rwanda. Then we have a market. That's not even debatable.
Before we just started this discussion, you mentioned of the Atiak sugarcane factory coming on board, and you spoke about it with excitement. What solutions do you think it coming on board will provide? What are some of those?
Atiak Sugar Factory is now becoming a big player, I have to be honest with you.
Yeah.
It is a brand new factory. I've been there. Its crushing capacity installed is 1,650 tons of cane per day. The government intervened in the issue of excess cane in Busoga. We have a contract to supply around 500,000 tons of cane per year. We secured the 6 months cover as support to supply to Atiaka Sugar Factory. Now, with 500,000 tons of cane, if you put it from Busoga, you're reducing on the issue of excess sugar cane.
Yes.
Number one, look at the impact of that tonnages. As I speak now, we have not paid for 2 months. Already 50,000 tons of cane have been offloaded. But each day, I can give you an example of the youth. This is a country without jobs. A trader, because of these traders, you need 40 youth manpower to cut one trailer. Because the trader is only 40 tons, and each manpower can cut 1 ton of cane per day. You need 14 youths to load the trailer. You need around 6 youths who transport cane from the field to the trailer, which you call loading bays.
Yeah.
That is 60 youth per trailer. 60 youth per trailer. Those who are cutting, we pay them 600,000 shillings per trailer, per truck. Those who are shunting from the field to the loading bay, 300,000 per truck. And those who are loading the trailer, 300,000 that truck. A total is 1.2 million shillings in that locality. That we pay. If we talk about a sugarcane farmer, look what those youth are being employed. Yes. And they give their money, cash. Now 1.2 million multiplied by 40 trucks we take it to Atiak per day in Busoga. That is 50 million shillings almost per day. You see that?
Yes.
50 million by 30 days, that's 1.5 billion shillings, which is in the rural economy today. That is only a sugar factory. Do you see that impact?
Absolutely. I do.
Now that impact, each truck we are saying you're using 60 number of youth. Multiplied by 40, that is 2,500 youth per day who are working. In Busoga, according to Wobos, a household has 5 members. So 2,500 multiplied by 5. What is the number? You are in over 12,500 heads being fed because of that intervention. So it is going to be a very big impact in the region.
Not only giving market to the sugarcane growers, but also to the young people.
The younger people who are jobless. That's how to start from. You never look at it from the perspective of value chain. Then you go to the fuel stations. These are big trucks. Kamuli, Iganga, Luuka. These trucks, they consume between 500 liters to 550,000 liters. That is almost 2 million shillings fueling alone. You have 40 trucks, that's 80 million. That might remaining in the Soga region. 80 million multiplied by 30 days. That is 2.4 billion. 2.5, I don't know, 1.5, that is 4 billion shillings, which is being left where? A month in the Soga region.
So the future for the sugarcane growers is bright. And
is now becoming bright
yeah.
with these interventions. And when the government opens up the power ethanol market, which can consume effectively this sugar, because it's a new market where we are processed sugar can direct to ethanol, then the future will be bright.
All right, we look forward to that time. Thank you so much, Michael Mugabira, who is the coordinator of Uganda Sugarcane Growers Association, joining us tonight to speak to us about the latest in this industry. And thank you as well for joining us tonight. NTV Weekend Edition will continue shortly, so do not go away.
Thank you, Madam.